Episode 3 of Pluribus slows things down, save for one really big bang at the end. Welcome back to Movies Good, Internet Bad. I'm Cory. Shane is off on vacation this week. He'll be back next week. And this is my spoiler-filled thoughts on Episode 3 of Pluribus, aptly titled Grenade. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you like Pluribus. Go ahead and drop us a comment below with your thoughts on the episode, and let's dive right in. We start with a cold open in a very Vince Gilligan way. We do a big time jump backwards. We go and see Carol and Helen on a vacation to Norway, where they sleep in a hotel that's completely made of ice. The bed is made of ice. Everything is made of ice, and Carol is, well, she's not really much of a fan of it. She's more concerned about her sales of her book and finding out where she falls on the top 20. And it's really interesting because in many Vince Gilligan episodes and shows like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, these cold opens are really there to kind of inform the audience on who the characters were before the events of what we're seeing now. And this is a great example of that before the bad thing happens, during the good times, Carol is still kind of a mess and kind of a jerk. So her character traits really do kind of carry over into the present day timeline, which is cool. Going back to that present day timeline, Carol flies back to Albuquerque on Wayfarer Airlines. If you're a Breaking Bad fan, you'll know that that's the airline where the two planes collide into each other in season 2. And once she gets home, she really just wants to be left alone, which is a great acting, spotlight for Ray Seahorn. She does a lot of really good stuff in scenes where it's just her. She's just by herself, and it's really cool to see. She very much does not want her independence taken away from her. This is evidenced by when the hive mind delivers some food to her front door, and she completely rejects it, throws it away, makes the call, and says, "What's going on? What's with this? Leave me alone. I want to be able to do things for myself. So leave me be." And she's also working very hard to control her anger with the hive mind, so that way she doesn't cause any more danger or death or accidental murder, which I think they said in the last episode she killed 11 million people. Yikes. She also is an avid fan of the Golden Girls. Thought that was great. And shameless plug here, we review 4K Blu-rays on this channel in addition to TV reviews. Carol supports physical media, which is great because, as we saw in the first episode of this show, there is no cell service. There's really no TV. Everything's kind of just in an outage right now. But if you support physical media, you own that disc and you can watch that show, which is a really beautiful thing. She tries to go to the grocery store, as part of her whole independence kick. She takes a trip to Sprouts, which is a great grocery store. But Sprouts is completely empty. Nothing in it whatsoever. So she walks right over to the phone inside the store and she calls the hive mind, and she's like, "Why is the store empty?" And they explain, "We're trying to conserve. We're trying to put food where it needs to be, and make things as efficient as possible." And Carol has a little bit of a hissy fit and says, "No, I want my grocery store. I want my Sprouts. I want it now." And then within a matter of minutes, a whole bunch of semis pull up. There's a really great Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul style montage where the trucks are all choreographed with the way they're parking in their spots. A bunch of close-up shots of the ramps coming down and the people doing all their work to refill the grocery store. And then it is the nicest looking Sprouts I've ever seen. And Carol gets to have her pick of the litter on pretty much anything she wants from it, which is pretty cool. She gets back home. She makes some dinner. She's watching the Golden Girls again. And the power goes out. And again, she calls the hive mind, and naturally they say, "We're trying to conserve. We're trying to be efficient. We're only keeping the power on in essential places." And then Carol says to her, of course, "This is the perfect topper it's the topper to a perfect week that only a hand grenade could fix." Had to refer to my notes on that one. So naturally, Zoja shows up with a hand grenade and says, "We thought you were being sarcastic, but we just wanted to make sure." And then Carol invites Zoja in. They have a few drinks together. It's a really great scene. And you can tell that Carol is kind of starting to open up a smidge to Zoja, but then Zoja lets slip one of the memories and things that Helen knew about Carol. And Carol does not like that, as she told them earlier in the episode. Helen is off limits. Forget about Helen. Don't ever bring her up again. They did. She pulls the pin to the grenade. It goes kaboom. It's a great scene, and is really a sign of the budget that they've gotten for this show, which is pretty cool. And of course, Zoja is very badly injured, so they take her to the hospital. And then the final scene, you got Carol sitting in the hospital because she cares about Zoja and she knows that this is kind of her fault. And a character that I'm calling Dr. DHL comes out because he's dressed in a full DHL delivery person's outfit, but he is the doctor because everyone's a doctor in this world. It's really quite fascinating. He lets her know that Zoja's going to be okay, and then Carol is really questioning everything here, and she's asking, like, if I asked for a gun, would you give it to me? They say yes. If I ask for a bazooka and whatever it is a bazooka fires, would you give it to me? And they say yes. And she says, what if I wanted a tank? And they say, you know what? We would weigh our options here and we would try to explain to you that maybe that's not the best idea, but ultimately, if that's really what you wanted, we'd give it to you. And then he gets up and walks away to go tend to Zoja, and we hit the credits. So really fascinating stuff going on here. Not 100% certain where the show is going, and I love that. I think that's one of my favorite things about it, is that there's a little bit of an unpredictable nature here. There's also the hanging thread of the other folks that don't speak English that are immune. Carol tries to call one of them. She's on the phone a lot in this episode. She tries to call one who only speaks Spanish, and he refuses contact, screams and yells at her, hangs up. Really curious to see where that all goes, because I'm sure that one of those people is going to be the key to making something happen. But really enjoyed how this episode kind of slowed things down a little bit, let us kind of stew in the situation and marinate with Carol for a little bit, learn a little more about who she is and what makes her tick. And we still got 5 more episodes this season to see where things go. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I would love to hear your thoughts. Drop us a comment below if you're watching Pluribus, what you thought of this 3rd episode. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll be back next week, and mercifully Shane will be back with me, so I don't have to make my way through these reviews on my own. And we're also going to be reviewing some movies coming up too. So be on the lookout for all of that and so much more. And until next time, we'll see you guys in the next video.